The anxiety grows over Mount St. Helens tonight. Geologists are recording earthquakes and harmonic tremors for the first time since the ash eruption of June the 12th. The activity started with weak harmonic tremors last night, then continued with two small earthquakes at midday today.
Cloudy conditions over the mountain make it hard to see clearly what is happening inside the crater, but behind the gray veil, Mount St. Helens is certainly active. Steam was shooting 10,000 feet into the air. Mixed with the steam, a relatively small amount of ash, which blackened the new snow covering the area. There were faint rumblings in the peak overnight. What geologists are calling very weak harmonic tremors occurred at 10 minutes to 9 last night and 5 after midnight this morning. Geologists say these tremors do not fit the pattern of activity seen before the last two large eruptions. But with Mount St. Helens, little is certain.
You know, we're not going to make any predictions, not based on 2 hours worth of tremors. Now, it's a different story if we get the buildup. But you don't hear about it until after the eruption anyway. And then we can say, I mean, we just can't call together a briefing fast enough to say, okay, we're in the middle of what looks like a buildup.
Our camera crew reports a strong smell of sulfur dioxide in the air over the mountain today. Geologists have been looking for gas levels to decrease as an indication that she is less explosive. But Tim Hait says St. Helens is putting out 1,000 metric tons of sulfur dioxide a day, and that gas level has been holding steady since the big eruption May 18th. In Vancouver, Washington, Essex Porter reporting. Channel 2 News.
Meanwhile, scientists at the University of Washington are watching this latest series of tremors with an eye toward previous eruptions. In fact, they think a pattern is emerging between the amplitude and timing of the tremors and the volcano's violent blasts. While today's harmonic tremor is still too weak to fit the pattern, it could get stronger, and it's interesting to note what geologists are looking at. Before the eruptions of May 25th and June 12th, Mount St. Helens had been quiet for about a week. Then there was an increase in the amplitude of harmonic tremors, followed by a sharp decrease, a short period of quiet, and then a major blast. It's now been more than a week since the volcano's last eruption, and the harmonic tremors, while slight ones, are starting again. Geophysicist Craig Weaver told Channel 2 News late this afternoon it's still too early to suggest an eruption on the mountain is imminent, but he says they're watching their seismographs closely for whatever may happen next.